So the Lutonix trial was a randomized trial evaluating the Lutonix drug-coated balloon compared to control. And it was needed because we need to do randomized trials to be able to determine whether a particular technology really works well or not. This was the first large multi-center trial of its kind. So the study was a one-to-one randomization, so a prospective randomized trial comparing patients with dysfunctional arteriovenous fistulas against with getting treated with a drug-coated balloon versus a control balloon. They had to have successful vessel pretreatment with a high-pressure balloon, followed by treatment with a drug-coated balloon or control. To get into the trial, you had to have a dysfunctional but patent arteriovenous fistula in the arm without symptomatic central venous stenosis and without existing thrombosis. You could have prior thrombosis, but not at the time of presentation. So the study had a number of different outcome variables. The primary outcome variable was 6-month target lesion primary patency, but it was a 2-year study, so it went all the way out to 2 years and is fully completed at this point. There was also a safety endpoint, which was 30 days freedom from any adverse event in the access circuit, and that was also met. So the 30-day endpoint was met very well, with no safety event, significant difference in safety events between the two arms of the study at 30 days, but also all the way out to 2 years. And one of the questions that people are asking right now is, was there any difference in mortality? And there was also no difference in mortality between the two arms at 2 years. So that's very reassuring in light of some of the other things that we're hearing at this conference. With respect to the findings regarding patency, at exactly 180 days, there was no significant difference in patency, although there was a strong trend. At 9 months, there was actually a statistically significant difference in patency, and if you look at the survival curves, starting at 2 months, they diverge, as you would expect, as the mechanical benefit of angioplasty is lost, and the DCB arm stayed above the control arm all the way out to and including 2 years. Well, I don't think any single trial should influence practice. What this trial does is it builds on prior studies. So there were several single-center randomized trials that showed fairly convincingly that drug-coated balloons were better than plain balloon angioplasty in dialysis access. This study then took it up a notch by taking a prospective randomized multi-center approach and essentially found the same thing, that there is at different times of the study and follow-up, there either is or is not statistically significant difference, but always better patency over the control arm. Well, fortunately, that's already ongoing. We've kicked it up a notch, but you want to have multiple randomized multi-center trials to be able to do then systematic reviews, for example. And so the Medtronic study, IMPACT trial, has already been fully enrolled, and we just learned that we're going to hear results on that in the fall. So we're looking forward to hearing those results. And there will be other large multi-center randomized trials as well for this technology. I think based on what we're hearing about mortality right now, we need to make sure we keep an eye on that and make sure that there is no signal there in these other studies. And then as we move forward, we start to look at whether there are subsets of patients or of lesions who will benefit with this device better than some others.